Hi honey bunnies, it's Tanya. Welcome back to my channel and to our home. In today's video, I'll be decorating our whole house for spring. I'll begin on the front porch, followed by the kitchen, dining room, and living room. I hope you'll join me. I like to begin by showing you how the porch looks undecorated. I'm going to be adding some florals to this grapevine garland. I went ahead and picked up these pink rose garlands at Hobby Lobby for several reasons. One, I love roses. I love the color pink as well, and I love to decorate with pastels for my spring decorating. Also, when I'm using something for outside, I want it to be affordable, and these were only $8.99 at 40% off. I did pick up 4 for good measure, hoping that would be enough to complete my project. All right, friends, I got my ladder out so we can start hanging up these garlands. And I got some zip ties here. They're just some that I had picked up at Walmart during the winter season. So you can see that right there. And I've got some scissors to clip off the ends. So let's get started. My rose garlands are up and I think they look beautiful. I love it. Friends, if you've been with me for a while, you know I always like to start by adding a wreath to my front door. I picked up this wreath on clearance at Hobby Lobby in 2024. I had actually thought it was beautiful for 2 years and didn't purchase it. And then one day I was at Hobby Lobby. My husband noticed that they were having a clearance section full of sale items. I went to look, and to my surprise, they had this beautiful wildflower wreath that I had been wanting for 2 years prior. It was originally $72.99, reduced to $18.99. I thought that was a steal of a deal and I couldn't resist, and I've been waiting several months to use it this spring. The next thing I like to do is come in with a scatter rug on my front porch. It adds another layer of texture, and this particular one is neutral. I got it at Hobby Lobby for $39.99, but at half off, it was only $19.99. I'm hoping if it holds up through the spring season, I will reuse it in the fall. On top of my scatter rug, I'm going to be adding in this bunny rug. And speaking of things lasting from season to season, I bought this bunny rug last year in the springtime, and I feel like it still has some life left. So rather than buying a new rug, I'm going to work with what I have and place it right down there. Okay friends, so the next thing I'm going to use are these lanterns that you guys have seen before on my channel. I have been using them lately on my front porch and just loving them, that I'm going to continue to use them for the spring season. And this is what we're going to do to the inside. A classic look, but still beautiful, and one that most people can do, and you can't go wrong doing this on your front porch either. Let me show you. I'm going to take this lavender wreath that I got at Hobby Lobby. Originally $9.99, at half off it was only $4.99, and place it inside my lantern. I chose this wreath for a couple of reasons. One, it was the most affordable small wreath I could find with a pop of color at Hobby Lobby, and my wreath that I just hung on the door actually has little sprigs of lavender in it, and I felt like that would tie the two pieces in together and bring some of the lavender purple out of the wreath and into my lanterns. I did go ahead and fluff this one in an upward direction so that when I place it into my lantern, you will see more of the lavender coming up from the bottom up. I did buy 2 wreaths because I am trying to create symmetry on my porch to create a very symmetrical look. And to the lantern, we will be adding the classic white candle because it's a classic look and you can't go wrong with it. Plus, it's gonna tie in with some other elements I'll be using in a few minutes. Stay tuned and I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to place my lanterns on each side. The next item I'll be using are these large pots that I bought at Walmart last year for the really great price of $20 each. And yes, I bought two. They're really big and I'm going to put something inside of them right now to give that item an elevated look. I did use them in my fall front porch and now I'm reusing them again in the springtime. The next item I'm going to show you is absolutely adorable and perfect for spring and Easter. It's this adorable bunny topiary that my husband and I got at Hobby Lobby this year. It was originally $100, but at 40% off, they were $60. And yes, we bought two, and I will be using them out here on my front porch for the spring and Easter season. I will be keeping the burlap bow on it this year, even though I know I could change it out for something more festive or in a different color palette. However, this brown burlap is going to tie in with my scatter rug and my bunny rug, and it'll bring the three things together and create a cohesive look. And even though this bunny did come in a beautiful black painted pot, I am going to elevate the look of it by placing it inside the white pot that I just set down. I could very easily place my bunny in here. However, because this is a large pot, it does get lost and most of it is covered inside. So to fix that problem, I am going to place a riser in there, which is actually this plant stand that I already had. I'm going to place it at the base of my large pot, and then I'm going to set my bunny right on top of that, and that will create some height so that my bunny doesn't get lost in my large statement pot. Now, I do know that this is wide and it's got a gap, so to fix that problem, I'm going to come in with this grapevine wreath. I happen to have it on hand already, and it will easily slide over the top, and it helps to camouflage that large gap. Plus, it adds another level of texture and rustic design, and it ties into the grapevine wreath that I have right here with the roses running through it. And I will repeat the process on this side. First my plant stand, then my adorable bunny topiary, and then my grapevine wreath. Next, I'm going to be coming in with these white pots that I already had, and I'm going to be adding some faux flowers to it. More specifically, some beautiful pink hydrangeas, my favorite color, and another one of my favorite flowers. Aren't those gorgeous? And now I'm just gonna come in with these gorgeous hydrangeas, and I just think they are so pretty. If you've been with me since the beginning of my YouTube channel journey, you have seen these adorable bunnies. I bring them out every year and I use them every spring because I think they are so cute and they're perfect for outside. They are actually a Better Homes and Garden product from Walmart, and I bought them several years ago. I love that they are plastic, so they are very weather resistant, perfect for outdoors, and they look as good as the day that I bought them. And they will tie in again with the browns in my bunny rugs and in the burlap bows of the new topiary bunnies. To create the rule of 3 in this area, I'm going to add this sweet little bunny. 1, 2, 3. Here's the before of my coffee bar and kitchen table. One of my decorating tips is if you have a TV in your room, look for a YouTube screensaver that goes with the theme you're going for or your color palette to tie it all in together. It's nicer than just having a blank black screen on the wall. I'm going to start by adding this beautiful vintage piece of wood. It looks like it was a top to a vanity set where the mirror had broken out of it. I just thought this detailing was so beautiful, so I'm going to be adding it to my coffee bar. Then I'm going to come in with this wreath for some greenery for spring. I'm going to place this tray down as an anchor to the items that I'll place on it. I'm going to add in this sugar and creamer set my mom gave me years ago. Now I'm going to come in with this adorable little chair that I thrifted at Goodwill that has little birdhouses on top. Then I'll come in with this beautiful book box with wildflowers on it that says Good Day Sunshine. My mom actually gifted it to me last year because she knew how much I liked it. Now I'm going to add these sweet little bunnies. To break up the white and to bring my green from my wreath down, I'm going to add in a little bit of reindeer moss right around the bunny. Just a little bit so that I don't cover it up. but just enough to add some contrast. And I'll do the same for this bunny right down here. I think so to feel cohesive, I'm going to add a little bit of greenery right down here. Now I'll come in with these stacked bunny mugs. And for a pop of color, I'll add these adorable tins. If y'all have been with me for a while, you know I have to put a canister on this side with my coffee filters and scoop. I just slid everything downwards because I have to allow some space for my husband to reach back here and turn on his coffee maker. If you've seen any of my other videos in the past, you all know I always encourage you to use seasonal decor from other seasons and implement them into the current season. So this spring is no different. I'm going to take this Valentine heart spoon rest and these adorable Valentine spoons and work them into my coffee bar for spring because they are in the color palette of pink. I'm gonna take this glass votive candle holder and add my seasonal Valentine spoons. Then I'll add my heart spoon rest and a silver spoon. Then I'll add an adorable bunny mug for me and an adorable bunny mug for my husband. If you saw my spring haul, then you saw these adorable bunny and wildflower placemats. If you haven't checked that out, check it out. I'll link it in the description below. Now for a pop of green for spring. Now let's add in my bunny plates that tie in with my bunny mugs. For my napkins this year, I just wanted to keep them very simple. So I'm just going to fold my classic white napkin in half. Then I'm going to fold a fourth of it over towards the middle and the other fourth of it towards the middle, and then fold that in half. Just like that. Then I'm going to add my butterfly napkin ring to it. I'm simply going to just push it through the hoop, just like so. And that's it right there. Very sweet and very simple. Since we eat in here multiple times a day, I wanted to keep the centerpiece very simple. To start decorating on this side of the room, I'm going to be adding a beautiful thrifted painting of a girl holding an umbrella or a parasol. Super pretty, it's got beautiful colors. It was only $14.99. It has a lot of blues and pinks, and to me, the frame looks green. I'm not sure how that's picking up on camera. I just thought it was such a pretty picture, and it's got this little arched bridge and a little pathway in here. The other detail that I loved about it is the girl has brown hair, and my daughter has brown hair, and so when I see things like that, it just reminds me of her, and I just think it's so pretty. So I'm just going to place it right here above my buffet. I will probably have my husband help me hang that up properly later on. But for now, I'm just going to lean it there. Next, I'm going to come in with these beautiful placemats that I'm going to put together to look like a table runner across my buffet. Next, I'm going to come in with this beautiful galvanized metal floral arrangement, which I do think is pretty, but I'm trying to minimize the amount of galvanized metal I have in my kitchen this year, and I'm trying to bring in more vintage silver looking elements like the creamer and sugar pieces I added to my coffee bar. So to minimize the galvanized metal, I'm going to place this piece on its side rather than upright, the way it should be placed. Let me show you. For example, if I was to set it here like this, you see more of the galvanized metal, but because I'm trying to minimize that, I'm just going to simply turn it to its side, and now all that you really see is just the beautiful flowers, which is what I'm trying to showcase and add to this area for a pop of color. Now I'm going to bring in my sweet bunny bowls that tie into my plates and my coffee mugs. Next, I'll add in this gorgeous lantern. Now I'm going to create a vignette with this floral bunny inside this lantern. Now to cover up the galvanized metal at the bottom, I'm just going to put in some moss. A little girl with a parasol, umbrella. Let me start that again. Here's the before of my kitchen countertops. If it stayed behind, it's because we usually keep these items in our kitchen. And this organized chaos is what we'll be using to decorate the kitchen. I'll begin by adding this cutting board to camouflage my outlet. This little sweet wreath for greenery and this little pedestal to elevate this birdhouse on top. And for a pop of color, I'll add this sweet little floral sprig. Then to cover up this light switch, I'll add this little recipe for a happy home frame. Since this is my baking station, I thought it'd be the perfect place for my mixing bowls and my floral measuring cups. For a pop of whimsy, I'm just gonna add these little plant figurines to the outside. A bunch of sweet bunnies trying to get into our garden. There they are, all sneaking in. Now I'm gonna decorate this rack over here, starting with this cutting board. These sweet bunny beads. A vintage pitcher, and an adorable kitchen towel. Next, I'll be decorating this little kitchen corner. I'm going to add this gorgeous lavender back here for a pop of color. Then I'll add this pretty little bunny with florals on it, and this neutral decorative egg. To cover up some of this galvanized metal in here, I'm going to come in with some reindeer moss. Then to cover up this outlet, I'll come in with this little tea towel ladder with a sweet little tea towel for spring. And for another pop of green, I'll add this canister. And to this side, to break up all the stone, I'm going to add a cutting board for some warmth and texture. To anchor my next vignette, I'm going to come in with this round tray, which was actually a piece of my 3-tiered tray that I took apart to use as a tray. To the tray, I'm going to add in this vintage silver pitcher that I'm using as a utensil holder. To that, I'm going to add this sweet little bunny pick for spring. To this vignette, I'm going to add a stand and this sweet little birdhouse. Then I'll add this beautiful candle to bring in my floral pattern. And to bring in more touches of spring, I'm going to fill in the base with some more reindeer moss. It's just the perfect filler for spring. This side of our kitchen is super functional. I just have some cutting boards stacked here to embellish this corner. I'm just gonna add one more to this side, and I'm gonna add this sweet little bunny that my husband actually made for me several years ago. And then I'll just hang this one on the wall just to add a little something to this area. I added a sweet lavender bow here for a pop of color. This is where we store our potatoes, and so I'll just add this little picture to it just to add a little decorative element. And for more color, I'm going to add this pick right in here. Along with these beautiful purple flowers. To add a little decor and color to the top of my fridge, I'm going to come in with this picnic basket. Then I'm going to come in with this beautiful blue casserole dish for a pop of color. Then I'll come in with this pot and some greenery. Then I'll add in this pink berry basket with a little white Battenberg lace doily. Lastly, I'll decorate my kitchen island. Then I'll add this beautiful scalloped edged platter. Then I'm going to come in with these sweet bunny cookies from our local grocery store. They make them every year, and every year I buy them. It's pretty much become a tradition for our household to get these little bunny cookies every spring. I'll use the cutting board as my anchor for my strawberry lemonade. Then I'll add these glasses and these coasters. I decided to decorate our kitchen island with consumables this year because we use this area a lot to cook on our griddle and with our toaster oven. So I figured once these cookies and that strawberry lemonade is gone, the island will be cleared off. One final spring touch. Here's what the dining room looks like currently. Let's decorate this tablescape for spring. A little tip, pulling out the chairs on one side will make it easier for me to decorate my tablescape. I'm going to begin with this table runner that I found at Ross this year. I liked the simplicity of this table runner. I also liked this beautiful little scalloped edge, and I thought even though it's very simple, I thought the texture in the fabric was beautiful. Now I'm gonna bring in these beautiful garlands with these gorgeous spring wildflowers with beautiful colors of yellows, pinks, purples, and greenery and white. And I'm going to work those in to my display. And to make it feel fuller, I'm going to use 2 garlands. And I am actually, this little spot right here, let me show you. I'm just going to tuck that in so it's not visible. And I'm actually placing them in opposite directions because this side does not have that. I want them to look equal on both sides. So I'm doing them opposites. Now I'm just gonna tuck them and fluff them so that the detail is coming out and it doesn't look so straight. And I'll just go around adjusting the branches with the flowers till it looks like I want it to look. And of course I can play with it as I go and as I decorate if something doesn't feel right. But I want to start with the base by getting it fluffed up and looking beautiful. This one has a mind of its own. It's wanting to go in its own direction. So I'll see if I can just leave it and keep working with it. There we go. Now I'm going to come in with this beautiful pedestal that I thrifted from Goodwill last year. I really love this spindle design. Now I'm going to place this riser in the center and add my sweet little moss bird on top. Then I'll add this little bird cage topper that I got at Goodwill. To that, I'll add this sweet little bow. Now I'm just going to tuck in some sweet little butterflies for a pop of color. Now I'm going to tuck in these beautiful candlesticks that I also thrifted at Goodwill, and I've added this little sweet velvet green bow to it, and I'll just place my LED candle on top. And I'll do the exact same thing on this side to balance it out, but I will face my bow that way so that it looks even, and then I'll add my candle on top. Now I'm going to take some green moss and I'm going to add it into these berry baskets that I had thrifted from the Goodwill as well. They are originally from the at-home store. And then I'm going to add this sweet little nest inside. I got these little chicks last year on clearance at Hobby Lobby, so I'm excited to use them in my display this year. Now I'm just going to repeat the process on this side. I'm just tucking in these bunnies wherever I see a little bare spot. I'm deciding at the last minute to add this inside of here because I think that it would be beautiful in there and it would create a little bit of contrast because I've got too much green going on here and you can see the riser. So I'm just going to put this inside and then add that to the top. Now I'm going to come in with my matching placemats that go with my table runner. I also purchased these at Ross this year. Now I'm going to add these placemats that I got at Hobby Lobby that have a leafy green texture. This greenery ties in with all the greenery I have going on in my tablescape. Now I'm just going to come in with our wedding fine china. I'll incorporate the dinner plate and the salad plate. I use these same napkins with these beautiful green velvet bows for fall and winter. So now I'm going to use them again for my spring tablescape because they tie in with the bows on my candlestick. But to that, I'm going to add a sweet little nest for spring. This year, I did purchase these beautiful floral napkin rings from Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to be using these as well, and I'm going to alternate to create visual interest on my tablescape. Y'all will have to let me know in the comments, would you have preferred this look with just florals going across the table like this? Or do you prefer the look where I mismatched it? Now I'm going to add in my goblet. Okay friends, now we're going to decorate this little side table I have in this area. Now I'm going to come in with this beautiful vintage teapot, and I'll come in with this other one on this other side. And then I'm going to add this sweet floral picture. Friends, again, I'm going to be changing out my artwork on this wall. And again, it's going to be another thrifted piece. This time, it is this beautiful picture of a little shepherd boy with a lamb. My husband loves lambs, and when we found this picture at the thrift store, we just thought it was so beautiful. It looks very old and vintage, and then my husband painted the frame, and it's just gorgeous. And I've been waiting for the spring season to hang it up here in our dining room, because it's a reference to Jesus. Jesus was the Lamb of God. Jesus was the Lamb who was slain for our sins. And I just think it's beautiful to bring it out during this season of spring and Easter. To cover up this nail, I'm going to add this green bow to it. This will also tie in with the bows on my napkins and on my candle holders. Then I'm going to add in these beautiful pink candles to bring in the pink from my tablescape for spring. Here's the before of our living room. As you can see, I already have a YouTube screensaver on my TV. And here's the other side of our living room. I'm going to be starting with these particular items, and the reason is because there are two of them, and I want to create some symmetry on my shelves and in my living room. So anything that I had two of or multiples of, I'm going to be implementing them in my design so that I've got some symmetry on my shelves. Also, if you saw my dining room decorate with me video, you saw that Kirkland's was having an amazing sale, and I told you that I got a set of lanterns. Well, these were originally $60, but at 70% off, I got them for about $18 and some change. Aren't they gorgeous? I'm planning on using them. I love to make little displays inside of glass jars, so I'm going to take this beautiful little gold bunny. And if y'all have been on my channel before, you know I love to add moss to my spring decorating. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to add some little moss in here as if though that bunny is sitting in grass. If y'all saw my spring haul, you know that I got this little bunny at a boutique, and it's meant to be a place card holder, but instead of using a place card holder, I'm going to come in with these blank notes that have a beautiful rose pattern on them for spring. And I'm just going to add it onto the slit on the bunny's back. Now I'm going to do the same thing with my cloche. This time I'm going to take my Sweet Bird place card holder. Then I'll add a little moss to the inside. I don't want to add too much, just a little for that pop of greenery. So that's too big. Since she's on a branch, I'm just going to put a little bird's nest right next to her with some eggs. I'm a little undecided if I'm going to put this card or not, but for now I'll put it on and we'll see how it looks. I do have a velvet bow on it, which actually ties into my tablescape. actually had these floral napkin rings left over from my dining room tablescape, so I'm just going to place them right here, and that'll tie the two areas together. I actually think this will be better on this side. I bought this picture at Kirkland's last year, and unfortunately I didn't get to use it, but I'm using it this year. I think I'm going to slide this in. And then for a pop of color, I'm just going to add this little house. Ideally, down here I'd like to get a beautiful basket to go across, but I didn't have time to do that. And so I'm just going to put this wooden dough bowl here for a pop of wood. I'm going to place this beautiful little vintage tray on here. It's got a similar oval shape to the picture I placed on the other side, and even though it doesn't have a picture of pink florals with greenery, I just thought the shape mimicked the other side and therefore it flowed together. And to add in that pop of pink, I'm going to go with this little house on this side, whereas the other one was a house with a little aqua top. That was going to bring in some color to that side that wasn't pink, and since this is just gold, I'm going to bring in extra pink to this side. Hopefully it kind of balances each other out. And I'm going to slide this in a little bit closer too. And until I get a beautiful set of matching baskets, I'm just going to come in with this wooden stool to mimic the wood in my dough bowl on the other side. I'm just going to come in with some Bibles and prayer books to fill in this space. I know I'm not following decorating rules right now, but I just want to decorate these shelves in a way that looks pretty and not cluttered. On the other side, I had one large wooden bowl to this set. To balance it out and take up the same amount of space, I'm going to add in a medium-sized bowl and a smaller bowl to take up that same space and balance it out. I'm doing the same thing here. On the other side, I had a gold vintage scalloped bowl. On this side, I'm going to add in this gold bowl so that even though they're not the exact same, they're the same color tone and they balance each other out. I just feel like I wanted to add a wreath to the mirror to add some color and some greenery. And that will also tie in with my dining room tablescape since it's right next door in the other room. And I am just working with some purple ribbon that I had because I am already out of my velvet ribbons. And it's totally fine because I actually have purple going on in the flowers in my dining room. So it all ties in. All these beautiful pastels work together. Ah, my ladder. Oh no. Like, don't slip out from under me. I think that this is a good height right here. We're just gonna go with it. So I thrifted this piece for $3.99 because it was damaged, but I think that's fine because it's facing the back anyway. And to that, I'm just going to add a little green blanket for spring. Just for a little color and texture. And then I'll add in this adorable bunny pillow. I'm going to add this lantern back in because I like the shade of gold. I think it complements the basin over there very well. And to it, I'm just going to add my pedestal with my white candle, very classic. Then I'll add a couple of sprigs of greenery. And then I'll add this greenery right over here. And for a pop of color, I'm just going to add in some eggs. And I'll do the same thing right here. Now I'm going to come in with my lanterns and we're going to work on these. I've never had any that open from the top, so this will be interesting. I'm going to place this little terracotta pot inside. Then I'm going to add my bunny. If I can squeeze it in, let's see how this works. I might have to switch that. Let me switch sides. Okay, that might work. There. And then I'm going to place in a little baby bunny right in there. And you know me, I'm going to come in with some more moss as filler. I'm just going to switch this one out for this spring colored one. Now I'm going to style my coffee table with this piece of greenery here. It is to create contrast between the table and this woven tray. Then I'll bring in this beautiful terracotta pot. For some additional color, I'm going to add in these florals with pink. And for practicality and functionality, I'm going to add these coasters that I shared with you on my spring haul with some beautiful birds. I went ahead and styled my china cabinet off camera. I went ahead and left the Amazing Grace picture there, and I went ahead and left the green blanket on the blanket ladder that my husband made for me years ago. I'm about to do the reveal, and I'll come in and show you the china cabinet closer. All right, my honey bunnies, that wraps up today's Spring Decorate With Me video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a like. Please comment down below and let me know what was your favorite piece of decor from today's video. Also, if you found this video at all entertaining, inspirational, or motivational, please consider subscribing and hit that notification bell so you can see all my upcoming videos. As always, I thank you for spending a part of your day with me, and I hope to see you on the next one. Happy spring! Bye!